Okay, I just thought I'd make a little video looking at my language labs. It looks a little different than it did before. I think everything is pretty much the same in how we use it. Just when you want to add stuff to the calendar, if you click under assignment calendar, everything's just kind of grouped together a little differently. So if you go through, I would just go through the chapters. I would ignore the cultura. I guess they have it separate, but then it's also, again, you can find it again in each chapter. And then just remember that the Instructor Resources, that's where you can go for downloadable activities. Most of us that are using this probably put our testing stuff online. If you don't, you can go into Instructor Resources and get their activities. You can download them and then, cut and paste and put in a Word document and mix them in with the activities that you made up yourself. So if I was doing something for chapter 1, I would just click on that button, the student activities. That's where I'm going to find my SAM activities, but instead of them just popping up, you have to go into each one. They've got them lumped into like the first part of the vocabulary, Spanish vowels, by the various sections that are in your text. So you can open this up, and there you'll find these are activities that you could assign that go with the textbook, and there you'll find your SAM activities. And just remember that those that are out to the side that have a little pencil beside them are instructor graded. So if you assign that activity, just remember that you are going to manually have to go in and grade it. So then if you scroll past all of those, each of these are parts of the book. So you would open them up, and that's where you're going to find all of your SAM activities. The next block that we have is learning tools, apps, and games. This is where you're going to find your tutorials, your extra practice, your flashcards, and games. I've never really used the games. So here you can see, and they also have that Amplifier study module. I don't think I've ever used that in this class, but I think it's like a kind of like a practice test. And so here's some. I don't use a lot of these things or any of the practice stuff. I probably should play around and see how some of those things work out. But there's the games, there's the flashcards. I usually do give the flashcards to my students. And then up here, under the learning tools, apps, and games, this is where you're going to find all the extra practice and the vocabulary tutorials and all. And any extra practice that goes with vocabulary. And the other one is the extra practice and tutorials for the grammar. And this feature I actually liked a little bit better because it lumps them by topic. So you'll see days of the week, months, and seasons. So then you'll see the tutorial, and then you'll see the extra practice. Then you go on to the next tutorial, and then the extra practice. And I kind of like it being lumped together that way, because before I would have my tutorials separate from my extra practice, and it just makes sense that they would go together. So I found that a little bit easier to navigate once I figured out what was going on. And then your video resources are right here. And you've got your, I think this video this right here just explains how to use Club Cultura, and I think it's about this Guinea Equatorial, but you can open it up. These are cultural videos. They have them in Spanish without captions, Spanish with captions, and even English with captions as well. And I think this little note tells you that if you use this video for level 1, that you should probably use the English captions for this, specifically for this video. Then you've got your Vistas Culturales, which are also cultural videos. And in the Vistas Culturales, you can have them with or without captions. There's it with captions, but if you open up just the regular one, you'll also have activities that you can complete that go along with your videos. The Club Cultura, I don't know if they have that great of activities. I think they do have some activities. Maybe not in this one, but I know I've pulled up some. But I usually I've been watching them and making my own questions and actually putting questions into Moodle. And then we know Pura Vida and Entrevistas are a little bit more fun videos. The Pura, I think Pura Vida, and the Entrevistas. I think the Pura Vida is the soap opera that goes along with her book if you want your students watching that. And then I'm sure I've used the Entrevistas, but sparingly. I think I might try to use it some more. They'll have a set of questions that go along with a video that you watch that relates to the vocabulary that you're studying in class. And whatever you want to assign, let's say I wanted to assign something on the 11th, and I want to assign this video and these flashcards and this game, all I do is click what I want, and then I pull it over here, and it's on the calendar. Let me undo the flashcards because I was using that in class. So I'm just going to put it on the calendar, and see the calendar told me when I had something assigned on a different day. And then if you decide, no, I don't want to use those activities, you can go to the advanced, you go into assigned course materials. When you get to this sheet, I can click, wait a minute, I'm back where I started. If I click here and I go to the advanced calendar, I can click these two activities and put remove due date, and it'll take them off the calendar. It'll say, are you sure you want to do that? Yes, I'm sure. And then you'll also notice when I was out here in my chapter, let's see, I want to go to my assignment calendar. When I was out here in my assignment calendar, you probably noticed that I had some tests out there. Those are tests that I created. So I'll stop here and show you another video of how you can create your tests.